Thanks for joining us again today for my video series, and today I'm going to talk about our new off-grid power station. So we're now manufacturing these here in New Zealand in our factory in Auckland, and they're a plug-and-play off-grid power plant to run everything from a small tiny home or a caravan or a cottage all the way up to a large home, or even we've got one of our systems running a whole government department. So these are a totally versatile solution for your off-grid needs. So today I'm going to start with our baby. So this is what we've built for tiny homes, for the small power need, and it's our, we call it a PS1, our tiny home system. So what we've got in here, we've got a completely pre-wired, preset system that has a 24 volt DC capability and a 3 kilowatt AC output. So what that means is that you can have panels on the roof, you've got your batteries in here, you can run a tiny home, you can run a caravan, you can draw up to 3 kilowatts. Now we've talked about this in previous videos, but for those who haven't seen the previous videos, when I talk about kilowatts, you need to think appliances really. And so a jug by and large is 1 kilowatt, and a toaster might be a 1 kilowatt, and a microwave might be 1500 kilowatts. So what this means is you can run your jug and your toaster, you can run your microwave, you can't run them all at once of course, but this system will feed you 3 kilowatts AC constant into your tiny home, your batch, your crib, whatever you want to do with it, and it's a plug and play solution. So it's got room for a small bank of batteries. What we see here is just 2 batteries as a demonstration. Typically this system we would put 2 fairly large 12 volt batteries in the cabinet, and that would give you say a 4 kilowatt hour battery storage capability. So that's our baby. We could tell you a lot more about it. Just go online, there's a link below. So you can go to Solar King and we make them, or you can go to PowerStation.NZ. So remember PowerStation.NZ, it's on the bottom of the screen. It's .nz, not .co.nz, so one of those new ones. So either go to PowerStation or Solar King, find out more. The retail price on this, with its panels, with its batteries, with everything you need to virtually plug and play, $9,995. So under $10,000 for a standalone power plant for your little crib, your batch, your caravan, what have you. So now I'm going to turn to the next one, the big brother. So now we're moving up a level. So what we saw previously was the 24 volt, 3 kilowatt tiny home system. Great little system for something like that application we spoke about. Now, if you've got the next demand up, so if for instance, you've got a small home. This is for a batch with maybe weekend use, and you've got a husband and wife and 3 kids go to the batch and they want to run everything in the batch. This is the next one up. So this has a 4 kilowatt, 48 volt DC system. So, you know, it runs pretty much a small home. Again, the choke point with solar is how much you want to run at any one time. Now, with solar, I know it's quite confusing for a lot of people who aren't electrically inclined, and we talk amps and watts and kilowatts and all these things. So to make it simple, when I'm talking, I do a lot of talks around the country to groups of people, and I talk about the concepts. I quite often use the analogy of water. So when you think about it, with your solar system, you've got solar panels on the roof that generate your power. Now, if you think about water, what that's doing is that's filling up the bucket, which is your battery bank. Now the battery bank goes in your bottom cabinet. So the solar panels fill up your battery bank with electricity. The controller effectively is the straw with which you can get that electricity out of the battery bank. So no matter how many panels you've got or how big a bucket of energy you've got, if you've got a straw that big, this is a 4 kilowatt straw. So you can only get that much out. So that's 4,000 watts AC, 4 kilowatts, as we've talked about before. You know, it runs several household appliances, fridge, freezers, and everything else. That's the choke point of the system, and we will shortly have a look at our double inverter system, which gives 8 kilowatts, twice the amount of power. So a lot of it is just thinking about how much power your peak demand will be at any one time. Any of our systems will run pretty much anything in the home on its own, quite happily, and several things together. The main things in your house that are going to absorb power, hot water systems, cooking, heat generation out of electricity is the highest demand you could possibly put on your power system. So we recommend for everybody thinking about off-grid living, think about gas cooking, gas hot water. Keep your electricity to the lighting and fridges and freezers and servers and computers and all of those wonderful things that work well on electricity but don't have massive demand. So if you do that, then one of these systems would power the average home for its fridge freezer, couple of fridges, all its LED lights, couple of big TVs, kitchen appliances, pretty much anything that you want, vacuum cleaners, not all at the same time. So, you know, you can't run the toaster, the fridge, the microwave, do the vacuuming, use your hair tongs. You want to do all that, move up to the double unit. But that's our Billy Basic. That unit starts at $16,500. Again, that's the panels, the inverter system, all of the controllers in a plug-and-play cabinet with a battery bank, ready to go. So 16,500 up to about 26,000, depending on how many panels you need and how much battery bank you need. So let's just go back briefly to my analogy of water. So you've got your controller. So this is the pipe to get your power out of the bucket, your batteries. And it'll give you, it's that big, so it'll give you 4,000 watts. Now, that's great, and it might be enough to power everything you want. What we need to think about next is how big a bucket do we need, how much power are we going to use on the average day. And then we can think about how many panels you need and the size of battery bank. So if we can work out how many kilowatt hours you need, and again, that's just how much power you need a day, that'll tell us exactly how many panels. The beauty of this system is this little fella here will take up to 4 kilowatts of panel. So that's quite a lot of generation and as much battery as you want. So you've got a really good capacity to add panels to generate more power, to store in the batteries. This will hold batteries that will store 25 to 30 kilowatt hours of power. So you can generate as much as you like, you can store as much as you like. The controller is the straw to get it out again. I hope that's clear, and we'll go on to the larger one. So that's our middle level. That's called a single IPS, 4,000 watts, and 16,500 to 25,000, depending on the number of panels and batteries that you would like with that system. So there we go, that's our PowerStation 1. So that's great, that's the first two. I'm going to come back in a minute and we're going to talk about our double unit, the big boy. And that's got 8,000 kilowatts, lots more power. So just give us a minute and we'll come back and we'll visit that one. So now we've talked about our small system, our PS1, suitable for your tiny home, your caravan, your tiny power need. We've gone to our single inverter system you've seen with 4,000 watts of constant power. And now here's our double system. This is the next size up. This is what we call it, really, it's our big boy. So this is a dual inverter system, as you see. So this system has more power capability to deliver. So when you think about my analogy of water again, if you think about this is a big pipe out of your battery bank, which is down here. So this system can deliver for you 8,000 watts of constant AC power into your house, and it can handle peaks of up to 15,000. So this is perfect for a house where sometimes you're going to have everything going in the house at once. You're going to have TVs going, and you're going to have, maybe you have got an electric oven going, because that's 3.5 kilowatts on its own. We don't recommend it, but you could. So this is for the house where now and again the amount of power demand you have gets quite high. So ideal. Again, this can handle 12 kilowatts of solar input. So that's a massive array of panels. So you can have a heap of generation coming into the system and a very large battery bank. The cabinet, the battery cabinet, I won't bother opening it because there's no batteries in it, it's just a cabinet. But the battery cabinet will hold a bank of up to 60 kilowatt hours of our high-tech carbon batteries. Now, if you're interested in batteries on the Solar King site, if you go to the battery side of things, there are a series of videos that talk about batteries. So I'm not going to cover that again today. By all means, ring one of our technical team and we'll talk to you about the carbon batteries, etc., and what's good and bad in the battery world. That's another subject. But so you've got your battery bank, you can have a massive array of panels, just about as many as you could mention. You've got a great opportunity to feed lots of power, and that's your average to maybe a 3, 4, 5 person home, a 3 or 4 bedroom home. But again, remembering hot water and cooking. Gas is fantastic. It'll do 8 kilowatts, so you could. If you put this into a small home, for instance, husband and wife and maybe a couple of grandchildren popping in, and you wanted to run electric cooking and everything else, you actually could. But again, 8,000 watts, so it's your stove, your microwave, your fridge, your freezer, your TV, all of your lights, your servers, everything else it'll handle. But you've got a limit, so your choke point again is the amount of power. Now, having said that, again, we've built triple systems. So our system is scalable. Here in Auckland, we've got a government department, an Auckland City Council department, that runs a whole division on our triple system, one of these with 3 inverters that delivers 12,000 watts constant with a nice big solar array and a double bank of batteries. And they've got, last count, I think 26 people working in portacoms, all on computers, heat pumps, the kitchen, everything in that Auckland City Council department runs off-grid on one of our systems. So whatever your requirements are, we can build a system to suit your needs. So that's the great thing. Flexibility, all in one. What you're looking at here, you've got your dual controllers. So you've got all of your DC controllers, your DC fusing, your AC fusing is all in here. So basically your PV array controls. So your solar panels plug in one end and power comes out the other end straight to the fuse board in your building, and it's plug and play power. The other interesting thing about all our systems, you'll have noticed one of these in every system. So this is the generator input. So all of our systems are designed so that you can have a generator connected, and we recommend a Honda generator with an auto start mechanism. So what will happen is that you're running on your solar all day long, the solar's topped up your batteries, you're running on your batteries through dinner, and then all of a sudden the batteries get to a level where we'd like to charge them. This system will send a signal and turn on your generator, and your generator will automatically come on, top up your batteries, and then go to sleep again. So you never run out of power. So you've got the constant ability, you've got input, you've got all of that. So all of the systems have that capability. Which leads me to another interesting subject. So we've had a number of clients who've said to us, well, actually, we're on the grid, we've got power, we actually just want to mostly get rid of the power bill and mostly get rid of the power company, and we want to be able to run the house pretty much off the grid. So what we can do, and we've done this on numerous occasions now, is we can put a system like this, or like the smaller one, in your house, possibly in the garage or such, and your panels on the roof. What we can do is we take the AC power from the power company into the generator input. We have the solar and the batteries feeding all of your fuse board in your house pretty much. And when you run out of solar or batteries, the system says, oh, we've got some power here, and it'll bring it in out of the mains and top your batteries up. So what you've done is you've just turned the mains power into your backup generator. So this will actually work as an on-grid, off-grid system, if you like, to give it a name. So that's a very interesting use, and we're doing some rather large homes at the moment where they're going to run totally on one of these systems using the grid just as their backup generator. So that's another discussion, but I've mentioned in my previous videos, all of this, trying to do this on a grid connected home, makes sense if your power bills are like $400 or $500 a month or more. Because utilising a system such as this, we could take a $500 power bill and turn it into a $40 power bill. So that makes sense. If you're spending $5,000 or $6,000 a year on power, a system like this is going to set you back $25,000 or $30,000. But if you're spending $5,000 or $6,000 a year, then in reality, in 5 years or so, it's paid for itself. The panels have got a warranty for 25 years. The batteries have got a 20-year design life. The system's designed for at least 10 years. So really, when you think about setting yourself free from the power company, it's a no-brainer. But as we've said in the past, if you've got a $200 power bill, we'll have a whole nother discussion. So that's most of what I wanted to talk about today. You'll see on the bottom of the screen the PowerStation.NZ site to have a look at. Remember solarking.co.nz, of course, the parent company. Call any of our team and we can custom design for you. Every single system, as I've always said, is custom design. There's no such thing as one size fits all in energy. Everybody's got a different energy profile, and our expertise is such that we design our systems for you. We don't design for one size fits all. We don't design, for holers bowlers. You're the customer. We design specifically to suit your needs. And that's about it today. So thanks again, and just keep watching because there'll be lots more information coming in the next video series. Thank you, and thanks for visiting Solar King and PowerStation.